Throughout the first half of 2023, we've seen so many massive, big-budget blockbuster failures for Hollywood. Budgets in the range of $200, $250 million, even in the case of something like Indiana Jones, $300 million. And nearly all of them have fallen short at the box office. With these massive, big budgets and huge marketing budgets, they have not broken even. They've lost so much money for Disney and for other companies like Warner Brothers. That is the opposite of what we're seeing this weekend. Two movies that don't have massive $200 million budgets and two movies that are dominating the box office. Very different movies for very different audiences, but nonetheless, Barbie and Oppenheimer, the matchup of the year, is doing huge things at the box office. Box office fusion. Barbie heads for staggering $155 million plus opening. Oppenheimer eyes $77 million. This is massive. And again, including with Mission Impossible out there, likely going to make a good chunk of money this weekend as well. Theaters are full. You've got limited showings of these things and they're being completely packed out, and they are making so much fucking money this weekend. And when you look at Barbie, $155 million, if it continues to track like this, it's probably going to end up more than that, to be honest with you. It has had the biggest opening day of 2023. It's likely going to have the biggest opening weekend of 2023. And globally, it's on pace to make over $300 million in its opening weekend at the box office. Take a look at here domestically. Barbie sparks joy at U.S. box office. $70 million Friday. Biggest opening day of 2023, beating Across the Spider-Verse by like $20 million. The fourth biggest post-COVID and the 24th biggest of all time, eyeing $160 to $170 million 3-day weekend. And when you look at Oppenheimer, the fact that it's tracking at $77 million as well, for a movie that has a budget of $100 million like Oppenheimer, that thing is going to be massively profitable. That's likely going to get $200 million globally as well. And when it comes to Barbie, I've been saying this on every stream or show that I've been on in the past couple weeks. Whenever the topic of Barbie has gotten brought up, people have said, well, I don't know, I think the feminist messaging could, really hurt at the box office. One of the things I was trying to tell people is this is not the same audience that we're used to rejecting some of that messaging. In fact, Barbie is a brand that is almost exclusively women. It was a movie that was made for adult women, and it was marketed towards adult women. Spoiler alert, when that is your core audience and you push hardcore feminist messaging, it's not going to have as big of an effect. You're not going to see the same type of pushback or backlash for something like that as you do when Hollywood tries to put that in male-dominated franchises like Star Wars or Marvel or DC, or even something like Ghostbusters, where the fan base is predominantly male and they always are trying to open it up to a new audience, blah, blah, blah. In fact, what I would argue, the massive success of Barbie, hopefully people will learn that, guess what? It's okay to make movies for men and movies for women. Maybe instead of Hollywood trying to take all of these traditionally male franchises and IPs and try to push a feminist message and try to get more women involved while pushing all of the hardcore fans away, maybe you should go towards things like Barbie and embrace those things and make sure to market those and make those movies for that audience that you're talking about. In all likelihood, what's going to happen is Hollywood will say, wow, look at all this heavy propaganda, and it did so good at the box office. We're going to put this in everything. And you see some of the same missteps that we've seen from Hollywood over the last several years. Nonetheless, when it comes to Barbie, you cannot deny this is a massive success. And when you look at internationally, it's crazy. In Europe, it's doing very well. It's not going to do super well in Asia based on the tracking, but in Europe, it's doing huge numbers. The Barbenheimer mania arrived at UK's box office bombastic. Barbie had spectacular $8.2 million Friday opening day. That's the second biggest opening day since Endgame. Beating Multiverse of Madness' $6 million, No Time to Die, and The Batman, only under No Way Home's $10 million. Oppenheimer did really well too. These are two movies, again, Oppenheimer is made for a very different audience. Right now, the splits are about 70% women going to Barbie and about 65% men going to Oppenheimer. And this should show people that you can have success when you do those things. I have no faith that Hollywood will learn the right lesson from this, but at the end of the day, I've been talking about this for a long time. When it comes to Barbie, I thought it was going to be a monster. I didn't think some of the ancillary stuff was really going to affect it that much, and I don't think it's going to have a big impact on the second weekend either. I think people are going to continue to go go out and see this thing because, quite frankly, the core audience, the audience that it's made for, is not going to have a big of a problem with some of that messaging as 30 and 40-year-old men. If everything holds, if everything continues this path, and to be honest, it looks like it's only going up and up and up. Barbie's looking at having the biggest opening weekend of the year. That is absolutely wild. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments section below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.